More and more people are getting hooked on the digital economy, which includes everything from streaming services to apps for getting food delivered. Even luxury brands, which have traditionally used things like Tiffany's famous baby blue box to show that they are exclusive, are experimenting with the metaverse and forming partnerships with video game developers to offer skins for avatars to a small group of gamers who want them. Marketers need to pay attention to how the lines between offline and online marketing are becoming less clear and keep up with the changes. At the end of this video, you'll know more about the digital economy, including its pros and cons, how other people are using it, and how your brand can use it to reach its goals. What do you call the digital economy? The term digital economy was first used in the 1990s, when the internet was still a supplement to goods and services that were still done in person. At that time, the biggest worry was how the growth of digital channels might affect consumers and businesses and the economy as a whole. Today, the term digital economy just means any business that takes place online. A data-driven economy has really come about because of the ability to gather, use, and analyze huge amounts of machine-readable data to make experiences more personalized and useful. The digital economy has made it possible for companies to come up with new business models and ways to make money that would have been unimaginable 30 years ago. In fact, at least 2/3 of executives say that digital business activities help them reach their main business goals in a big way. A great example of how a digital economy is different from a traditional economy is the rise of Netflix. In the late 1990s, Blockbuster was the king of video rental stores. It had about 9,000 locations all over the US. Millions of Americans had no other way to watch movies once they were out of theaters. People would go to a physical store, take out a hard copy of Terminator Q, and pay with cash, a check, or credit card to borrow some high-quality entertainment. When Reed Hastings started Netflix in 1997, it became much easier to rent movies. The best part, in my opinion, was that people could make a digital account, order up to 3 titles at once, have copies sent to their homes within days, and keep those movies for as long as they wanted. Thanks to Netflix, you no longer have to worry about late fees. Blockbuster could have bought Netflix, but it turned down the chance. Hastings' creative business added streaming, which changed the media landscape in an irreversible way. The main differences between a traditional economy and a digital economy are physical goods versus digital goods and services, brick-and-mortar stores versus online shopping, and cash-based transactions versus cashless transactions. The digital economy included. The digital economy is made up of many different parts and is always changing. With so many ways to get involved, it can be hard to find your way. If you don't know how to help most effectively, think about what makes it what it is. Data-driven. Companies collect information about the people who use their services and visit their websites so that they can personalize the user experience and suggest content. For example, top fashion and luxury brands use data in their planning, merchandising, and supply chain activities so that they can stay ahead of the competition. When people are cutting back on spending, these strategies can help get the information needed to change and re-engage clients. Smartphones that are easy to carry around have changed the way we live and shop because we can now use the internet anywhere, even in our dreams. The latest version of the Apple Watch can track REM sleep and send data to your iPhone so you can look at it in the Apple Health app, which has a huge database of health and fitness data. It has information about the last week, month, and 6 months worth of data, as well as that night's sleep. When mobile and the Internet of Things are used together, you can find out more about almost everything, IoT. When everyday things like refrigerators and cars get smart, we have a lot more ways to take part in the economy. Brings together the best parts of people and machines. Automation saves time and money for businesses and can give customers great experiences, like chatbots on websites and product suggestions based on what they've bought before. Artificial intelligence is being used by top fashion brands to improve product discovery, product forecasting, trend forecasting, and virtual merchandising. AI. AI-driven retail makes it possible for companies to meet the needs of modern consumers by making shopping more enjoyable. Connects the whole world on a very small scale. The internet, mobile technology, and the Internet of Things, IoT, all contribute to hyperconnectivity, which is the growing connections between people, organizations, and machines. Hyperconnectivity is the basis of the digital economy. By the time Gen Z reaches full adulthood in 2026, more than 60% of the world's adults will have grown up in a world where the internet was a permanent and important part of daily life. Change all the time. Peter Diamandis is an entrepreneur, investor, and futurologist. He thinks that we will make more progress in the next 10 years than we have in the last 100. People say that new technologies like cloud and edge computing, IoT connections, artificial intelligence, and blockchain are to blame for how quickly things are changing. To keep up with experience frontiers, businesses need to look into cutting-edge capabilities like real-time customer data management, journey orchestration, and AI decision-making, such as those geared at younger generations. There are good things about the digital economy. With the help of the digital economy, businesses and customers may be able to connect more quickly, effectively, and meaningfully to their favorite goods, services, and experiences. Think about the benefits listed below and how they help certain brands. Widen the scope. In a traditional economy, the products that are available are limited by where they can be made. If someone wants a certain brand of jeans but doesn't have access to it in their small town, they'll have to order it online or wait until they go to a city where it's sold. Anyone can shop online at different stores and compare prices, features, and customer reviews to get exactly what they want when they want it. Extra details for everyone. Nike is a great example of how to use data to build relationships with clients. For example, Nike members who took part in workouts made in collaboration with Megan Thee Stallion later got emails with suggestions for clothing made in honor of the hip-hop musician. Because of these mobile connections, Nike's digital sales went up by 23% in the first quarter of fiscal year 2023. The company's most recent earnings report shows that digital channels and apps bring in 26% of Nike's income right now. Efficiency gets a lot better. Businesses that work in the digital economy, like Nike, can do great things with the help of automation. By putting their marketing efforts on high-value leads, companies can reach their audience for less money and reach more people. Robotics and other related technologies can help businesses increase production and come up with new, better products and services. The digital economy is driven by people. Many people worry that robots will soon take the jobs of humans because of automation. The truth is more complicated and makes me more hopeful about the future. The key is a commitment to learning throughout life, which requires the public and private sectors to work together to make sure everyone has access to public education and programs that help them improve their skills. Future automation may depend a lot on how innovative new companies compete with or replace older, more resistant to change companies. What's wrong with the digital economy? Even though the digital economy gives people a lot of new choices, its quick changes raise concerns about sustainability, privacy, economic inequality, and lasting digital divides. For example, getting over the big problems that many communities around the world face when trying to use the digital economy fully. The United Nations Conference on Trade and Development says that only 20% of people in the least developed countries, LDCs, use the internet, and when they do, they usually have slow download speeds and pay a lot. Privacy questions. In areas where the digital economy is growing, companies are being held more and more accountable for how they gather and use customer data. Cookies might be taken out of Chrome browsers because of privacy worries. This will have a big effect on marketing and advertising. Brands have to work hard to give clients personalized experiences while keeping their trust. The Adobe 2022 Trust Report says that when consumers lose trust in a brand, 55% of them say they will never do business with that brand again. Security risks are getting worse. Businesses need to take more steps to protect client data, especially as cyber threats become more complex. Twilio is a company in San Francisco that provides two-factor authentication and communication services. In August 2022, workers at Twilio were the target of a sophisticated social engineering attack. The hack put at risk 209 client accounts. It was part of a larger attack on at least 130 companies by a threat actor known as Zero Kappas, including MailChimp and Cloudflare. Look for solutions that build security into their platforms so that you can give customized experiences while still meeting international standards for security, privacy, and governance. This will keep similar attacks from having bad effects on you. Inadequate competition. In the digital economy, which is very competitive, advanced security can give businesses an edge. In a traditional economy, space limitations limited what choices consumers could make. People can use their phones to easily compare prices when shopping in-store or online. The problem with this new situation is that a small number of big companies could use their power to take over the market. Look at the benefits of shopping on Amazon and how it's hard for local and brick-and-mortar stores to compete with their prices and shipping, even though they offer many different brands. With the right digital experience platform, you can talk to customers more quickly and more effectively, which will help you get their attention and loyalty. Environment-related issues. Data centers and networks that send and receive data use 2% of the world's electricity. By 2040, it is expected that data storage will account for 14% of all global emissions. Even so, the digital economy does make it easier to do things that are better for the environment. Think fewer commuters going to and from the office due to an increase in remote work. Then there is the extra trash that is made when goods are sent and then thrown away in a society that depends more and more on quick pleasure. The digital economy in action. Nike, Amazon, and Netflix, which have already been mentioned, are just a few of the well-known companies that are leading the digital economy. Other good examples are US Bank, which uses AI to automate its outreach for services like retirement plans and bank loans, making it more personal and increasing conversions and customer retention, and the Home Depot, which improved e-commerce by combining metrics from online and offline channels. Walgreens Boots Alliance also goes above and beyond by offering services other than filling prescriptions at its drive-through locations and by guaranteeing that online orders placed for in-store pickup will be delivered in 30 minutes or less.